You sit down to read one chapter. 3 sentences in, your hand is already drifting toward your phone. Researchers at the University of California, Irvine clocked the average human attention on a screen at 47 seconds. 2 decades ago, that same number was 2.5 minutes. Something in your brain has changed, and it has a name. Psychologists call it popcorn brain. The term was coined by Dr. David Levy, an information science researcher at the University of Washington. He noticed that people who lived inside fast-switching digital environments started to feel like their thoughts were popping. Their attention jumped from kernel to kernel without warning, and the slow pace of real life began to feel almost painful. The brain, in other words, had been trained to crave the next pop. The deepest evidence for popcorn brain comes from Dr. Gloria Mark at UC Irvine. Across more than 2 decades of carefully timed observation, she found that the average duration anyone holds attention on a single screen has collapsed from 150 seconds in 2004 to 47 seconds today. And the higher the rate of switching, the higher the measured stress hormone levels. Popcorn brain is not a vibe. It is a measurable physiological state. What is happening neurologically is a slow rewiring. Every time you flick from a document to a notification, your brain releases a tiny hit of dopamine. That hit reinforces the switch. Repeat the loop 10,000 times a week, and the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for sustained focus, becomes weaker. The default mode network, the part responsible for chasing novelty, becomes stronger. You have not lost your attention. You have trained it to leave. The cost is not only focus. A 2022 paper in Computers in Human Behavior linked higher rates of media multitasking to higher resting anxiety, lower working memory, and a 40% drop in the ability to enjoy slow activities like reading or real conversation. Many people now describe a strange feeling of being unable to be fully present even with the people they love. But here's the part that changes everything. In 2025, researchers led by Dr. Adrian Ward at the University of Texas published a study in PNAS Nexus. 467 adults blocked all mobile internet on their phones for just 2 weeks. Within 14 days, attention scores improved more than the average improvement seen from a course of stimulant medication. Mood lifted. Subjective well-being improved by the equivalent of becoming a decade younger. The popcorn, it turns out, is reversible. You do not need to throw away your phone. You need 3 deliberate interventions, and the science is clear on what they are. The first move is what I call attention reps. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Pick one task. Do nothing else for those 25 minutes, even if your brain screams to switch. The first 3 days will feel awful because your dopamine system is detoxing from frequent reward. By day 7, Mark's lab found that subjects could naturally hold focus for closer to 40 minutes. Attention is a muscle. You are simply lifting again. The second move comes from Dr. Sandi Mann at the University of Central Lancashire. She calls it the boredom interval. Once a day, for 10 to 15 minutes, do absolutely nothing. Sit on a chair, stare at the ceiling, walk around the block without earbuds. No music, no podcast, no phone. Her research shows that the brief discomfort of unstimulated time activates the default mode network in a productive way and rebuilds the slow attention circuits that popcorn brain has eroded. The third move is friction. Move the most addictive apps off your home screen and into a folder on the second page. Set your phone to grayscale. Charge it in a different room overnight. The Adrian Ward study isolated exactly this effect. The act of adding 10 extra seconds of effort between you and a dopamine hit is enough for the prefrontal cortex to wake up and ask the simple question: do I actually want to do this right now? If you take only one thing from this video, take this. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are running a piece of biological hardware that has been trained 10,000 times a week to seek the next pop. You can untrain it the same way you trained it. Slowly, repetitively, and with intention. If this helped, subscribe to Daily Psychology so the next research-backed video lands in your feed. And share this with a friend who has not finished a book in 2 years. They are not failing. Their brain is just popping. And together, that is something we can fix.